His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to deliver the 68th Independence Anniversary Address.
Thank you. Kindly be seated. Thank you. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Your Ladyship, the Chief Justice, Your Excellency, Chairman of the Council of State and members of the Council of State, Your Excellency, President John Agyekum Kufuor, former President of the Republic of Ghana, Your Excellency, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former President of the Republic of Ghana, and our special guest, Your Excellency, President Jakaya Kikwete, former President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Ministers of State, Honorable Members of Parliament, Nime, Name, our traditional rulers, religious leaders, our service chiefs, our troops, school children, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the media, and good people of Ghana. I wish you all a happy Independence Anniversary. 10 years ago, during the 58th Independence Anniversary, we implemented reforms to the annual Independence Day Parade. This reform eased the burden of thousands of school children who march, sparing them from hours of standing in the scorching sun. They formed up on the parade ground only when it was time for their march past and presidential acknowledgement. A few years ago, the previous administration also implemented reforms, deciding to rotate the hosting of Independence Day celebrations among the regions of our country. This initiative Black Star Square. This is necessary considering the economy our nation is currently experiencing. Often come with significant costs, which strain the national budget. We wish to demonstrate a commitment of our limited resources. For navigating the severe economic our country. On last year's celebration in Kofori cities, on the previous year's Volta region, of at least 20 million Ghana cedis, on the same scale as the calling on all to sacrifice. Questionable to spend that kind of money. Today's event would save us 90. Nonetheless, this the importance and significance. Independence is the single most important us on the path of nationhood. The flame of independence in countries yoked to colonial exploitation to seek independence and self-determination. This day must therefore always be commemorated. But when reality calls for a different approach, we must heed it and act accordingly. Moreover, hosting the celebration here at the Presidency preserves the symbolic essence of Independence Day while demystifying the seats of government. Fellow compatriots, Independence Day celebrations serve as an opportunity for us to remember our nation's struggle for freedom and to honor the sacrifices of our forebears who led that struggle for self-rule. It reinforces our national identity, our unity and patriotism, while offering a moment for reflection on our progress and the challenges ahead. It presents an opportunity for us to recount our history, picking the lessons it teaches, and thereby forging a new path for progress and development. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the founder of our nation, envisioned an industrialized, self-reliant Ghana, whose citizens have the highest standard of economic life and the greatest sense of self-esteem rooted in patriotism and Pan-African unity. But on February 24, 1966, a joint military and police coup d'etat shattered that dream, plunging Ghana into decades of instability and military takeovers. The verdict of history is now loud and clear. Declassified documents from the United States archives reveal that in our nation's history, significantly delayed our attainment of the objectives of nationhood. We have had moments of triumph and moments of anguish. We have now blossomed into a fully fledged democracy with a healthy culture of peaceful power transfers. We must, however, remind ourselves that democratic participation transcends just the act of voting. It is fundamentally about accountability and the security needed to demand it. It is about safeguarding the people's freedoms and rights and fulfilling the promises of socio-economic prosperity, agriculture and food security, infrastructure and urban development, and the role of science, technology, and innovation. In this era of green transition, we must recognize our unique circumstance, that is a nation rich in natural resources, yet vulnerable to climate change, and we must chart a path that balances sustainability with economic growth. 18 years ago, as we marked our Golden Jubilee, 50 years of independence, we celebrated offshore gas and oil and gas discovery. It was a moment of great optimism, promising a new era of economic transformation and attracting significant investments into Ghana's petroleum sector. However, in recent years, poor choices have stunted our prospects and left us reeling from serious challenges. This stark reality, far from dampening our spirits, must spur us on to strive for rapid development. For if our forebears, armed with far less, did not permit their backs to be broken by a repressive and exploitative colonial administration representing an imperial power, how can we, their progenies, armed with far more, despair in the face of these challenges? Rather than perpetually decrying our failures, every anniversary of our independence must present an opportunity for us to account for the legacy we are building for our next generation. We of this generation are merely custodians of this country and resources. They are entrusted to us to manage them wisely today for the generation of tomorrow. These independence anniversaries must therefore be a moment of reflection, not on what we have done for ourselves, but on how well we have stewarded national assets for those we will hand them over to in the future. Our story cannot be one of missed opportunities. It must be one of continued effort to achieve far more than we can boast of now. Posterity will not accept our failures or take them kindly. As President, I'm committed to dealing in currently, while safeguarding our future. Discussions about our independence often highlight our reliance on imports, on donor aid, and IMF bailouts as signs of continued dependence. This reminder is repeated so often that while undeniably real, it risks becoming a cliché. Yet the entire efficacy of this reminder lies not in just repeating it, but in our willingness to take decisive action. Actions that will break the chain of dependency, not just the empty rhetoric of an Africa that is beyond aid. Proclaiming self-reliance while marching straight back to the donors, into the hands of the donor agencies, begging both. This administration is working to implement the 24-hour economy program to ensure that our economy never goes to trade footprint and also reduce our dependence on foreign aid. The US dollar $10 billion Big Push initiative will also modernize our infrastructure. It will create jobs. It will stimulate local industry, ensuring the way to farm, poultry farm to table initiative, otherwise referred to as Nkukong Kitenkete program, will boost reliance on imported poultry products. The success of these policies depend on active citizen participation, particularly from our young people, and agribusiness opportunities. Success of these policies depend on active citizen participation, particularly from our young people, and agribusiness opportunities. Farmers service centers in every district will provide access to mechanization services, quality seeds and fertilizer to boost local food production. My brothers and sisters, this is a defining moment, but policies alone, no matter how well couched and no matter how well intentioned, will not change our reality. Action will change that reality. As President, I'm taking the necessary action to create growth opportunities and enhance our economic independence. Young Ghanaians must step up to the plate, seize these opportunities, and contribute to building a self-sufficient nation. Ghana's economic future is in your hands. Fellow Ghanaians, the 1992 Constitution has provided. However, like any enduring legal and political framework, it has flaws and loopholes. Recognizing the need for refinement, the late President John Evans Atta Mills initiated a constitutional review process in 2010, leading to the establishment of the Constitutional Review Commission. The previous administration of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo also undertook some constitutional review. Considering evolving national and global dynamics, I have constituted a new review committee to undertake a comprehensive and inclusive reassessment of our Constitution. This endeavor is essential as the strength of our democracy, the integrity of our constitutional. My brothers and sisters, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah understood the essence of unity, not only in Ghana but on the entire African continent, when he said, and I quote, "The forces that unite us are inherently and far greater than the divisions imposed upon us." In the spirit of unity and brotherhood that this independence represents, I wish to speak directly to you, my brothers and sisters, in Boko and everywhere, and brother, in whose hands you have entrusted a solemn duty. The people of Boko and other areas, it is time for lasting peace. Children deserve to inherit nightmares are relived. They deserve to inherit a land where our markets are bustling with trade, not tension and conflict. They deserve to inherit schools that echo with learning and not melancholy. Let us not be swayed by division, mistrust, and the weight of past injuries. Let us give renewal of friendship a chance. Let us give peace a chance. This is not an invitation to simply forget the past. Far from it. It is an invitation to live above it. Fellow countrymen and women, 2 years from now, our dear nation Ghana will celebrate its 70th anniversary of independence. This is our moment in history. We have endured through every storm and shadow. We have kept the flame of hope alive. And now at this critical juncture, we must rise with courage, determination, and unwavering belief that a brighter future is just within our grasp. Let us reflect on the great movements that have transformed the world, the movements that have liberated us from the bonds of colonialism, and the voices that shaped our path to democratic rule. Before these, people thought it was impossible. It is not impossible for us to create a better life for our people. It was ordinary people, workers, dreamers, farmers, students, the young and the old, who refused to accept the way things were. They marched, they spoke out, they struggled, and eventually they prevailed. From African liberation movements to the fight for civil rights, from the pursuit of democracy to the battle against poverty and inequality, one lesson stands clear. When people unite with a common purpose, nothing can stand in their way. As I said before Parliament, we shall live the dreams of our forebears in our lifetime. This is not just a promise, it is a call to action. Let this be our mission to rise above fear, to silence the voices of doubt, and to harness the strength within us to create a future that is fair, that is prosperous, and that is inclusive. Let us move forward together side by side, knowing that every sacrifice we make today will prepare the way for generations yet to come. Thank you very much, my fellow countrymen and women, and I wish you all a happy Independence Day.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 68th Independence Anniversary Address by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. Please be seated.